What happens when you share a prison cell with a killer? This is the story of one night that still haunts me, and it might be the most terrifying moment of my life. I was bunked in a two-man cell. My cellmate had just been transferred in. He was older, quiet, and barely spoke. I figured he was just nervous, adjusting to prison life. But there was something different about him, something I couldn't put my finger on. Later I found out the truth. He was a doctor, a man who had murdered his own wife. He was sentenced to life behind bars, and he only lasted 2 weeks. One night I climbed down from my bunk to use the toilet. My foot slipped into something wet on the floor. At first I thought he had pissed himself in his sleep, but it didn't feel right. It was thick, sticky. I reached out, steadying myself against the wall, and when I lifted my hands into the faint light coming through the door window, they were covered in blood, warm, dripping blood. That's when I saw him, my cellmate. He had slit his own throat in the middle of the night. Blood was everywhere. The floor, the walls, my clothes, my skin. I was drenched in it. I started banging on the door, screaming like a madman. The guards rushed in, thinking we were fighting. They flipped on the lights and froze. There I was, standing in the middle of a cell, dripping in blood, and my cellmate lying lifeless on his bunk. They called a code. Radios were blaring. Officers swarmed the block. But in their eyes, I wasn't the victim. I was the killer. They dragged me out, cuffed me, and hosed me down in the showers. I tried explaining what happened, but no one believed me. They locked me in the box, solitary confinement, for 10 days, while they investigated. 10 days alone replaying that night over and over in my head. Finally, they ruled it a suicide, but it didn't matter. By then, the damage was done. That night had already burned itself into my memory forever. I shared a cell with a killer, but it's not his crime that haunts me. It's his death, the way he left this world, and the way I was forced to live through it.